It is not an act itself. Now, three things now I'd like to take with you. One is, what is surrender? Surrendering yourself to God. I surrendered, we say. But let me tell you, dear devotees, this is all my perception of spirituality as I understand it in my present state of evolution, whatever it may be. Now your perception, after I finish, your perception of surrender may be higher, may be lower, or may be same as mine, doesn't matter. We adjust it accordingly, we accept or reject it. What is surrendering oneself? And when I begin to think of how can I surrender to God, Baba, surrender to God, then I realize what is the meaning of this surrender, Swami. I sing bhajans, Swami has given through me about 900 bhajans, 25 tapes, so many books. I said, hey Swami, this could be an ego trip actually, you know. So what is surrender then? Surrendering myself to God. Then I suddenly realized, my God, I must only look at the real technical dictionary meaning of surrender. And what does it mean when you look at dictionary meaning of surrender? To give up everything, okay, to give up, that we know, to give up. But take the actual what's happening. Let's say now when do we use the word surrender? When a country conquers another, okay, then the country surrenders. Now take for example, when during the days of the Roman Empire, when the Roman Empire conquered the known Europe at the time, the countries surrendered. And what did they do when they surrendered? They accepted the government of the Roman Empire, they accepted the language, the culture, the tradition, even the religion began to be accepted. When Japan conquered the Far East, what happened? The Japanese government imposed a law, the language was be taught, the traditions began to be adopted. So the people who surrendered totally began to accept everything, the rules, regulation, everything. So much so Malaysia, when Malaysia was taken over by the Japanese in the early days, Malaysians had to bow like this, you know, every morning. And actually that's a good practice, you know, in fact. And everybody was, it will be, like Ami-san, Ami-san and Graham-san. And my name got some people into trouble. And at that time I was just being born at that time, 1944. That's when after that I was born, the war stopped. No, true. I mean, check it out in the history books, okay? I was born 3rd May, after that the war stopped. And yeah, that's by the by. So when, for example, now there so happened another guy whose name was also Jagadisan. He told me the story. When the Japanese commander asked him, what's your name? He said, Jagadisan. He got slapped him. No son, Jagati. No son, Jagati. So anyhow, that means when a conqueror conquers someone, the conqueree, so to speak, the one who surrenders, absorbs into himself all the tradition, the rules, regulations, whatever the qualities of the conqueror, the conquered nation accepts. Take, for example, the Russians took over Afghanistan. Did the Afghans surrender? Those of you read newspapers, the Afghans surrender? No, the Afghans fought them in every nook, every cranny, and finally drove them out. Now, and in fact, even Rambo took a very serious role in that, okay? You all know Rambo, good. That's very part of spirituality. I'll tell you about that later. Therefore, dear brothers and sisters, the concept of surrender is this. If you say you have surrendered to God, and then if God, you make Him the conqueror, you only truly surrender when you have absorbed into yourself all the qualities of the conqueror. If you think God is love, then you must become unconditional love. If you think God is peace, then you must become a manifestation of that peace. If you think God is truth, then you must become a manifestation of the truth. This is surrender. And therefore, when you absorb into yourself all the qualities of the divine, and when you become a reflection of the divine, then and only then have we totally surrendered to God. And then He and we become one. There is no difference between the surrenderer and the surrenderee, or the conqueror and the conqueree. Don't use these words in any examination. I don't think they exist. So this is surrender. So hopefully all of us now are in this process of surrender. We are walking towards process of surrender, whereby hopefully all of us are trying to absorb into ourselves the total unconditional love that Baba represents. Hopefully we are trying to absorb into ourselves the total unconditional peace that he represents. Whatever the great and magnificent qualities of God that you admire and love, and therefore you raise your hands in prayer, if we accept, we must absorb into ourselves those qualities, and then we have surrendered. Therefore surrender is not a situation of a subservience. Surrender is not subservience. It is to become, as Christ said, I and my Father are one. It is that particular state, All other states are in fact a process of leading to that state. This is surrender. And therefore what was my surrender? Here it is the mind. The heart must surrender. Swami, make my heart full of love. Swami, make my mind peace. Make me a reflection of this love. Make me a reflection of peace. Dear devotees, you know this Arati song we sing? And in this Arati song, there is a line toward the end. It says, Mangala Arati Anduko. You know what it means? Please accept this, offering this flame. You have been singing for 1 hour, and after that he must accept this flame, is it? That camphor you buy from the shop. The camphor you buy from the shop and you put it there, you have been poor people singing for 1 hour and he must accept this flame. What is the logic there? Hinduism is tremendous, the powerful messages of symbols. In Hinduism there are dynamic symbols and static symbols. That's another big subject altogether. The Hinduism tape talks about that. But the act of Arati is a powerful dynamic symbol. When you say, Swami, Mangala are this joyous flame, the flame, here you are the flame. You must become the walking Arati. Therefore don't aspire to go and rush and do the Arati, You stand back and stand there and say, Swami, you accept me, Swami. Make me the walking Arati. And what is the significance of the Arati? This is the light that I'm talking about, that one when you surrender this and you become one with him. If you know the, where is this big clock by which is here, by the way, to watch time? Now how much time have I got, by the way? Didn't I start a bit late? Huh? I mean, I timed this for 1 hour, this thing. I haven't said. Okay. Alright. I'm worrying more the time than what I'm saying, Arati. In the traditional Hindu temple, ancient days, there were, a quick one, this one, okay? There were no lights like this. Today you go to all the temples, you see lights everywhere. In the traditional Hindu temples, the sanctum sanctorium in which the deity was installed was all in darkness. Would be in total darkness. And then there will be the screen above, the light screen. And through the screen, and then suddenly after the prayers, you'll see the priest holding the camphor flame, the Arati flame inside. And then the devotees the first time will see a gleaming light through the curtain. That's a curtain of Maya. It is through this curtain of Maya we must yearn to see, and then we see a flicker of light. And then when the priest swirls his curtain open, and then only in the light of the Arati flame we see the form of the divine. Therefore, what is the Arati then? Then you can only see the light of the divine within you in the light of your own love, the light of your own spirituality, the light, whatever divine spiritual thing you have in you. This is what we must have. And therefore, this is what the Arati represents. God. So when the next time you see the Arati flame, Mangala Arati Anduko, send the prayer, God, make this what I do, I tell you. Swami, make me a walking Arati, I said. Make me so that whenever I go, I give love and light and whatever I can. And the people, in the light of this flame, people see some divinity in me. This then should be our aspiration. This then is this Mangala Arati Anduko, to accept, not to accept that fire flame which you buy for 10 and you put a lot of it. But you are the walking Arati. You must make yourself such a walking Arati. This is surrender of oneself, to become a reflection of the divinity. This is the first. Second, we talk about surrendering actions. Surrendering action is very famous, all of you know, Nishkama Karma. Nishkama Karma. Now this is very interesting. Several years ago, when I attended a symposium, a convention in Australia, I forgot where it was, interesting thing happened. I was supposed to talk, some of you may remember this, I was supposed to talk on the subject of Nishkama Karma. But in the program, what had been printed was Nishkarma Kama. So on the program, they printed, there's some printers devil had got into there, Nishkarma Kama. Now this is very interesting. And I saw that, and funny, the chairman is now, he's looking at the program, introducing me, he's saying Nishkama Karma. But it's printed there very clearly, Nishkarma Kama. So people were seeing what they wanted to see rather than what was there. But I suddenly realized that this was not a printer's devil, it was a divine plan. Because then I realized actually what is actually happening in the world today. Nishkama Karma means action without yearning for the fruit of the action. Nish, without karma, desire, desireless action. But here it is showing us what actually people are doing. Nish karma kama, desire everything, no action. Swami must do everything. Can you imagine? Swami, you must protect us, look after my wife, look after my family, look after my children, give me promotion, make my children get high degrees, he must do this, that, the other, and then, but Swami, I've got no time for service, you know. I want to do, but no time, you know. So dear devotees, this is exactly what is happening. That's why Swami says, I have so many part-time devotees wanting full-time grace. Swami says this. And what is this part-time devotees wanting full-time grace? Dear devotees, state of mind. Devotion is a state of mind again. Are you carrying the devotion with you 24 hours of the day? Or is the devotion only when you sit in front of the altar? That is Nishkama Karma we are talking about. Whatever action we do outside. And this is like simple, very simple to understand this. Since many of you are, yesterday at the meeting of office bearers, there's a lot of talk about insurance. This insurance thing is a classic example. You want to take a $1 million insurance on yourself, and the premium is $100,000. But you're only prepared to pay $50. Your insurance premium will not be accepted. Likewise, divinity here. Full-time devotion or part-time devotion. Ask yourself. No one should point a finger at another person. Hey, you are part-time, I am full-time. Ask yourself whether you are a part-time devotee or a full-time devotee. Definitely you need not ask yourself whether you want full-time grace. This we know everyone wants full-time grace, okay? You want 24-hour cover. Where is this thing? Okay, now I just want to talk about surrendering action. Many people think that the concept of Nishkama Karma is, okay, I do not yearn for the fruit of the action. That is enough, that is Nishkama Karma. As I began to reflect on this, I realized that does not represent the totality of Nishkama Karma. Because many of you who are serving, let's say now in this particular camp itself, example, some of you have been serving selflessly. And I'm sure you are not doing it because you want some reward or recognition. Many of you, some of you, not many of you, some of you, few of you who go and serve in the old folks' home or somewhere. Is it many of you going or few of you going? No mind, don't answer. Don't answer anything that will incriminate you. So those of you who go to, say, the old folks' home or the hospital or orphanage, I'm sure you go there without thinking that, without wanting any reward. You just go there because either the chairman asked you to go and therefore, okay, I got to go, or you feel that you want to go. It doesn't matter. And at least you go. Once you go,